I'm David Toman, author of NootropicsExpert.com, and in this video I'm going to share with you what I believe to be the best nootropics for 2020, what they are, why we use them, and the science behind them. Now this list is a little different than my list for 2019. I've got a couple new nootropics that I've been using for the last year, and I'll tell you why I'm using them and how well they work. My newsletter subscribers frequently ask me what the best nootropic is for blank. Fill in the blank. With your choice of decision-making, memory, learning, anxiety, depression, energy, motivation, or you get the idea. There are so many things that can go wrong with the human brain, and a group of neurohackers will offer a variety of opinions on the best solution for each. But you take a step back and you notice something. People generally sort their brain hacking goals into a few well-defined categories, particularly experienced biohackers. And then they look for the best nootropic to address each one. Now, another thing that we learn pretty quickly is that there's no one-pill solution to cognitive optimization. It often takes a stack of several different supplements to get where we want to go. Now, our category list looks something like this, and I'll just cover it briefly. So we're looking for best nootropics for processing speed, decision-making, focus, flow, and thinking. And then another one for learning and memory. And then another one for anxiety and depression. And then another one for energy and motivation. And then another one for brain repair and maintenance. I have a couple of favorite new nootropics this year after 13 years of trial and error, and chances are that what works for me may work well for you too. Now, the nootropics I'm talking about here are what I use every day. Now, you'll notice that in the categories that I just mentioned earlier, that some nootropics work in multiple areas of cognitive enhancement. And what this means is fewer nootropics in a well-rounded stack. Now, once you dive into the neuroscience behind each nootropic, you'll find synergy with how many of these ingredients work together. And the result is that you need smaller doses of each nootropic for a bigger benefit. Brain optimization comes with a lot of experimenting to find out what works best. Trying different compounds, keeping a log of what works and how well, and a considerable investment. And naturally, I'm on the lookout for how to save money without cutting corners. So once I've narrowed my stack choices down, the search begins for a quality pre-made nootropic stack that will save me buying individual nootropics. Now, more on that later as well. Now, each of the nootropics that I'm going to talk about in this video, in the original transcript for this video, has got links through to the complete review of each nootropic. And when you click through to each individual nootropic supplement review, you'll find more detail on what it is, why we use it, how it feels, its mechanism of action in the brain, the side effects, the forms available or the types to buy, and the dosage recommendations. And you'll also notice that in the categories that I talked about earlier, that each nootropic that I'm going to talk about, that many of the ingredients are already conveniently encapsulated in MindLab Pro of just 2 capsules. Or they're in Performance Lab Minor, Performance Lab Stim, but more on that in a minute. Now, each of these nootropics are generally regarded as safe and non-toxic at recommended dosages, but your mileage may vary. How you respond to each of these compounds depends on a host of variables, including genetics, interactions with prescription drugs, and your current state of health. So I encourage you to click through to each nootropic and read the side effects and the prescription drug interactions and other notes and warnings. In the original transcript of this video, links through to each one of these nootropics. So please do this if you're not already familiar with these supplements. But in general, these are among the safest cognitive enhancers we know of. Acetyl L-Carnitine. ALCAR helps transport fatty acids into mitochondria where they're needed for energy metabolism. Fueling your cell's power plants can boost physical and mental energy. ALCAR is a necessary cofactor for acetylcholine synthesis, which boosts memory, mental alertness, and fluid thought. And the antioxidant properties of acetyl L-carnitine provide neuroprotective qualities, boost brain-derived nootropic factor, and it promotes cerebral blood circulation. Aniracetam. Aniracetam is one of the best nootropics available today. It's well known among experienced nootropics users for reducing anxiety, depression, fear, and improving sociability. But it does so much more. Aniracetam enhances your brain's ability to repair damaged cell membranes. It desensitizes AMPA receptors or glutamate receptors in your brain, which boosts neural signaling by increasing the effectiveness of glutamate, which results in better focus and concentration. Aniracetam also improves memory and recall by releasing 200 to 300% more acetylcholine in your brain, which increases focus and clarity of thought. And I found that the combo of Aniracetam and Sulbutiamine is better than any antidepressant I've ever tried. Bacopa Monnieri. Bacopa Monnieri is one of the best nootropics for studying. Researchers at Banaras Hindu University in India showed Bacopa as effective for anxiety as the benzodiazepine drug lorazepam. And unlike benzos, Bacopa did not cause memory loss, but in fact it boosted cognition. Another study done in Portland, Oregon demonstrated that 300 milligrams of Bacopa per day for 12 weeks improved word recall, increased attention, boosted memory, improved focus while learning, and it lowered anxiety and heart rate. New for this year, caffeine. Caffeine is an adenosine antagonist, which helps you to prevent you from getting sleepy, and in turn influences acetylcholine, epinephrine, serotonin, and boosts the use of dopamine, providing the stimulant effect experienced when consuming caffeine. Caffeine assists in the gene expression of brain-derived nootropic factor, which boosts neurogenesis. And caffeine increases the density of GABA receptors, potentiates dopamine, and causes some serotonin receptors to be more responsive, which in turn improves mood within an hour of consumption. CDP-Choline, a valuable addition in any great nootropic stack. CDP-Choline is a multitasker, which improves cognition and brain function, improves focus and motivation, and reduces fatigue. CDP-Choline aids in the synthesis of acetylcholine and the release of dopamine, both neurotransmitters involved in learning and memory. CDP-Choline also helps in the repair of brain cell membranes. The citidine in CDP-Choline converts to uridine in your body, and it works as a bridge between choline and neuron membrane synthesis. Uridine is needed to synthesize phosphatidylserine, which is needed to repair damaged neuron membranes. Choline is so vital to cognition and nerve function that without it, couldn't move, think, sleep, or remember anything. And one of the best ways to provide your body and brain with the choline that it needs is by supplementing with CDP-Choline. DHA. DHA is an omega-3 fatty acid. DHA is crucial for the healthy structure and function of your brain. Your brain is made up of 60% fat, and much of that fat is DHA. DHA can turn on brain-derived nootropic factor, improving neuroplasticity, leading to better learning and memory. And DHA acts as an anti-inflammatory by reducing the enzyme COX-2. If you suffer from chronic depression, within a few weeks of adding DHA to your nootropic stack, you should feel the depression lift. Your cognition will be better, you'll think clearer and quicker, your memory and ability to learn will improve, and you'll likely have more energy and motivation. But it is very likely that you won't think to attribute these improvements to adding DHA to your stack, because something else will get the credit. Lion's mane mushroom. Lion's mane is an ancient Chinese remedy for improving cognitive performance and overall health. Now, in our modern world, lion's mane makes it into some of the best nootropic stacks. And why? Because lion's mane stimulates enzyme production that releases nerve growth factor. It stimulates the repair and creation of neurons, or neurogenesis, boosting neurotransmitters and signaling that affects memory, learning, recall, and mood. And lion's mane helps eliminate brain fog, restoring memory and mental alertness, and lowers anxiety and depression symptoms. Lion's mane is a great complement to any nootropic stack, including Aniracetam, CDP-Choline, and DHA for an immediate cognitive boost. Lithium Orotate. Lithium is an alkali metal considered essential for human reproductive health and general health and wellness. Microdosing lithium, using lithium orotate, has become one of the best additions I've made to my nootropic stack in years. Lithium calms you by decreasing the sensitivity of postsynaptic norepinephrine receptors, preventing the release of this neurotransmitter for fast stabilization of mood and reducing aggression. Lithium upregulates brain-derived nootropic factor, nerve growth factor, neurotrophin-3 and the receptors, and lithium stimulates the proliferation of stem cells in your brain, all boosting neurogenesis and assisting in the repair from all types of brain injury. Lithium increases brain gray matter. It increases DNA replication for neurogenesis, prevents apoptosis. It increases N-Acetyl. It inhibits beta amyloid secretion and protects against damage once it's formed, and it chelates aluminum and it protects against glutamate toxicity. Lithium provides a calming effect in healthy people as well as those dealing with depression, bipolar disorder, and mania. Adequate levels of lithium have been shown to reduce suicide risk in multiple studies worldwide. And some say that lithium orotate works better than any prescription that they've ever tried to treat severe depression. Lithium orotate can be one of the most effective and least expensive additions to your nootropic stack this year. It's highly recommended. N-Acetyl L-Tyrosine. NALT produces the catecholamine triad of neurotransmitters, dopamine, norepinephrine, and epinephrine. As your dopamine levels increase, you're better able to concentrate, organize your thoughts, and stay productive. NALT can be an effective treatment for ADHD symptoms. NALT works in synergy with the pharmaceutical drugs like Rhodiola and Adderall by boosting the extracellular levels of dopamine, helping these drugs be more effective and mitigate the side effects like crashes when the stimulant wears off. N-Acetyl L-Tyrosine also improves memory and cognition under acute stress. It helps improve decision-making, flow state, and creativity, cognitive flexibility, and working memory. NALT is a great addition to any nootropic stack, especially if you're dealing with ADHD or ADD. Now, for more tips on how to deal with ADD and ADHD symptoms, I've got a post over on Nootropics Expert and a video on this channel for the best nootropics for ADHD, so please check them out. Phosphatidylserine, or PS. Phosphatidylserine is one of the best nootropics because it helps in the efficient transfer of proteins, enzymes, nutrients, oxygen, and glucose into and out of each cell. PS is involved in the formation and sending of signals within neurons. PS promotes healthy nerve growth factor. PS supports the neurogenesis needed for long-term potentiation. PS contributes to the healthy mitochondria, which are the energy centers for each brain cell. Phosphatidylserine is arguably one of the most effective and important nootropics we have available today. It has a reputation for improving alertness, attention, cognition, memory, recall, and mood. Pine bark extract. Pine bark extract is one of the best nootropics around, but relatively unknown to the nootropic community. It's a naturally derived standardized extract of French maritime pine bark. Pine bark extract helps prevent decreases in dopamine and norepinephrine, neurotransmitter problems which contribute to the hyperactivity in ADHD. Pine bark extract helps boost blood flow to and within your brain by increasing nitric oxide, which helps dilate blood vessels, and helping repair and maintain the health and the lining of blood vessels. It's crucial to the overall brain health and maintaining signaling pathways and supporting improved learning and memory. And pine bark extract prevents accumulation of oxidatively damaged proteins, which may reduce the risk of diseases like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's and Huntington's. Rhodiola Rosea. In Russia, Rhodiola Rosea is widely used as a remedy for fatigue, poor concentration, and decreased memory. It's also believed to make workers more productive. Now, as one of the best nootropics around, this adaptogen helps reduce stress and fatigue. It increases energy, alertness, and stamina while boosting mental performance under periods of chronic stress. Research shows Rhodiola Rosea can improve attention to detail-oriented tasks by improving concentration over a prolonged period, making it one of the best nootropics for studying. Rhodiola Rosea boosts mood by influencing serotonin and norepinephrine levels in your brain, and the feel-good opioids like beta endorphins. It also helps in neurogenesis by repairing and growing new neurons, as well as activating the synthesis and resynthesis of ATP, your body and brain cells' main energy source. And one more reason to add Rhodiola Rosea to your nootropic stack, it helps reduce inflammatory C-reactive protein. And solidroside, one of the many components of this incredible herb, protects neurons from oxidative stress-induced cell death. Sulbutiamine, I mentioned it earlier. Sulbutiamine is one of the best nootropics in my stack. It's a synthetic derivative of vitamin B1 or thiamine. Two vitamin B1 molecules joined together help thiamine more easily cross the blood-brain barrier. Sulbutiamine is directly involved in the citric acid cycle that provides adenosine triphosphate energy within your mitochondria. It has been shown to improve glutamate, choline, and dopamine neurological transmissions. It may also increase the density of D1 dopamine receptors. Sulbutiamine also contributes to the production of the enzyme PDH, which is essential for the synthesis of acetylcholine. I love this nootropic because it boosts cognition, memory, decision-making, it improves athletic performance, it reduces chronic fatigue and erectile dysfunction, and is one of the best antidepressants I've ever used. L-Theanine. L-Theanine is an amino acid which naturally occurs in green and oolong tea. Many consider it the best nootropic when combined with caffeine for the synergistic effect of lowering blood pressure, rejuvenate and relax, boost thinking ability, improve focus, and change your mood. This amazing amino acid boosts alpha brainwaves, promoting alert relaxation. It increases GABA, serotonin, and dopamine levels in your brain, producing an energizing and calming effect, helping you to go into flow and improving cognition and memory. It is an antagonist of NMDA receptors and can inhibit synaptic release of glutamate, protecting your brain from overstimulation caused by glutamate and possible glutamate toxicity. It boosts the neurotransmitters serotonin, dopamine, and GABA in your brain, as well as increasing brain-derived nootropic factor and nerve growth factor. Most neurohackers report a calming effect within 30 to 45 minutes of taking L-Theanine. Cognition gets a boost, and energy levels rise without the jitteriness caused by stimulants like caffeine. And some report that L-Theanine has stopped their anxiety and panic attacks. But you want to avoid combining it with anti-anxiety meds like Xanax. Vinpocetine. Vinpocetine is a semi-synthetic derivative of the lesser periwinkle plant, which is known for increasing cerebral circulation, taming inflammation and oxidative stress, and boosting alertness, cognition, concentration, memory, and mood. Vinpocetine inhibits the enzyme PDE1, which boosts cerebral blood flow. It blocks the accumulation of sodium in neurons, reduces the toxic effects of oxidative stress, scavenges free radicals, and protects neurons from glutamate and NMDA toxicity. And by inhibiting PDE1, vinpocetine increases cAMP and cGMP, boosting neuroplasticity, which enhances cognition and memory. And then the vitamin B complex. The B vitamins should be in every nootropic stack. No matter what you do, use a B complex, because every B complex stack should include vitamin B1 or thiamine, which is needed to produce ATP for within mitochondria. Vitamin B3 or niacin is used in the synthesis of acetylcholine. Vitamin B5 or pantothenic acid is needed to synthesize acetylcholine. Vitamin B6 or P5P is required for the synthesis of dopamine, epinephrine, GABA, melatonin, norepinephrine, and serotonin. Vitamin B8 or N-Acetyl regulates cell volume, signaling pathways in brain cells, DNA repair, long-term potentiation. It's a component of brain cell membranes. It regulates cellular metabolism and cellular energy consumption. And vitamin B9 or folate is involved in DNA and RNA synthesis, gene expression, amino acid synthesis, myelin synthesis and repair, and required for the synthesis of dopamine, epinephrine, and serotonin. And finally, vitamin B12 or methylcobalamin is required for the synthesis of the neurotransmitters dopamine, GABA, norepinephrine, and serotonin. You may not realize the full benefit of any nootropic stack containing CDP-Choline, acetyl L-Carnitine, or any of the racetams, or any nootropic for that matter, without adding a good quality B vitamin complex. It's possibly the most important and least expensive addition to your stack. Some nootropic supplement labels recommend taking it with a meal. The implication behind this recommendation is that the nootropic is fat soluble and requires some fat for proper absorption and to increase bioavailability. Now, each of the nootropics that I've talked about in this video and the original transcript have links through to the full review of each nootropic, which includes information about the solubility, whether it's fat or water soluble. But to be on the safe side, I take 1 tablespoon of unrefined coconut oil or organic Performance Lab MCT oil with my nootropic stack. This healthy oil provides the fat I need for better bioavailability of my fat-soluble nootropics, and I don't have to worry about taking these nootropics with a meal. And using MCT or coconut oil with my stack does not interfere with the water-soluble supplements either, so it's a win-win. I've tried a lot of different nootropic stacks in the last 13 years. But in late 2015, I finally found one high-quality pre-made stack that covers all the bases, and that stack is MindLab Pro. I've used MindLab Pro as my base for my personal nootropic stack since 2015 and continue to use it in 2020. It's that good. In fact, in 2017, Optinutra, Advanced Nutraceuticals, the company that makes MindLab Pro, upgraded their formula. Their B vitamins are now their own proprietary nutrigenesis vitamins. They're nature-identical nutrients that your body recognizes as food. And then in 2018, Optinutra introduced an entire new supplement line called Performance Lab. The company recognizes the demand for more choices when it comes to brain optimization and the need to support the rest of your body. So Performance Lab offers, in the nootropics category, the pre-formulated nootropic stacks Performance Lab Mind, Performance Lab Stim, and Performance Lab Energy. Their nootropic stacks are supported by the Performance Lab Whole Food Multi, which I also use daily. This multi contains nature-identical nutrigenesis vitamins and minerals for whole body and brain performance. And this is now my preferred multivitamin supplement, which works well with MindLab Pro. And then in early 2018, I switched from using some individual supplements to Performance Lab Energy, because this stack contains the acetyl L-Carnitine, or ALCAR, coenzyme Q10, PQQ, and R-lipoic acid that I was buying and using separately, which is way more expensive. Performance Lab Energy uses the patented, clinically tested forms of each ingredient in NutriCaps, vegan-friendly capsules, and no additives. Just pure, tested nutrients that work. And then last year, in 2019, I added Performance Lab Stim, which I use occasionally when my energy is running a little ragged and I need that little extra boost to finish what I'm doing. Because it contains natural caffeine, 50 milligrams, L-Theanine, 100 milligrams. It contains Azure-Pure L-Tyrosine with a balanced nutrigenesis B complex for alert, clean energy without the jitters of just using caffeine by itself. If you're feeling frustrated finding your ideal nootropic stack, my hope is that this video provides pointers that you need to create your best nootropic stack. Now, each nootropic that I've talked about in this video, it works. How do I know? Because I use them every single day. But I'm not the only one. Tens of thousands of people just like you and I have found success with these nootropics too. I encourage you to try each one of them in your nootropic stack in 2020. Or to save some money on your monthly supplement purchases, Try some of the pre-formulated stacks like the MindLab Pro and the Performance Lab supplements. My attitude is that once I've found a nootropic supplement company that puts out high quality product, I keep using them until something better comes along. Now, so far that hasn't happened. Now, I'm confident that you'll like and appreciate the pre-formulated stacks that I talked about in this video. OptiNutra puts out some amazing product. Now, when it comes to brain optimization and what I put in my body, good enough isn't nearly good enough until I'm performing my best in all areas of my life. Now, the right combination of nootropics in the right amounts have helped me to get to the point where I feel that I'm performing better than ever. Now, near the beginning of this video, I identified the main points that lead to cognitive improvement. Cognition, decision-making, focus, flow, thinking, memory, anxiety, depression, energy and motivation, brain repair and maintenance. What I love about the nootropic supplements that I outlined in this video is that it covers each of those categories. So that's my report on the best nootropics for 2020. Now, if you want to see links to the full review of each nootropic I talked about, please go to nootropicsexpert.com and click on the Best Nootropics tab in the top menu. Or click on the link below this video. There you'll find a full transcript of this video. You'll also find all the dozens of articles and all the well-known nootropics used on Nootropics Expert. Now, if you've got any questions or you want to share what you think are better choices for 2020, please use the comment section at the bottom of the page over on Nootropics Expert or the comment section below this video. I respond to comments and questions at Nootropics Expert usually the same day. And if you haven't done it already, please download your free copy of Secrets of the Optimized Brain, just for your email address. It's about 75 pages of the best nootropics used in the world today, with a brief summary of each, including dosage instructions. Or get a copy of my book, Head First. It's almost 500 pages. It's the best book out there right now on just nootropic supplements and how to fix your brain. And if you think you'd use more personal help with your stack or some of the issues you're dealing with today, consider booking a personal consultation with me. You'll find links to each of these over on Nootropics Expert. And if you want to see more videos on all the best nootropics used today, subscribe to this channel before you leave. I'll be putting up new videos on nootropics and optimizing your brain every week this year. I'm David Toman, author of Nootropics Expert.